Hello and welcome. My name is Dr. Michael Lydon. I'm a lecturer in Modern Irish Culture Studies and Popular Culture Studies at the National University of Ireland, Galway. It's my pleasure today to speak to you about Ireland's Call, a song that is used as a national anthem by some sports competitors representing the island of Ireland, most notably the men's rugby union team. To tell the story of Ireland's Call, we must begin with the story of rugby union on the island of Ireland. For those not aware of the sport, rugby union is a close contact and physically demanding team sport that comprised of 15 players per team that originated in England in the first half of the 19th century. For that reason, according to Thomas Kavanagh, to play rugby in Ireland meant committing to a British sport, a leisurely activity of the coloniser. The Gaelic Athletic Association, the GAA, a powerful governing body that promotes the traditional Irish sports of hurling, camogie, and Gaelic football, even implemented an infamous ban on foreign games such as rugby, dismissing the playing of as anti-nationalist. The formal organisation of rugby on the island of Ireland began with a division when the Irish Football Union was formed in Dublin in 1874, whereas in Belfast, the Northern Football Union was formed in response. According to Jason Tusk, these bodies eventually amalgamated in 1879 to form a single governing body for Irish rugby, the Irish Rugby Football Union, or the IRFU. Since its inception, the IRFU has remained the only major sporting body to span the two separate nations, Northern Ireland, an area still part of the United Kingdom, and the Republic of Ireland. Unsurprisingly, since the partition of Ireland in 1921, the IRFU has negotiated political tensions in relation to fielding an Irish team from two separate states. To resolve the problem of what flag to fly at Irish games, Tuck writes, the IRFU commissioned its own flag in 1925, which incorporates the arms of all the provinces of Ireland. This flag is used today and represents provisional teams of Ireland, namely Leinster, Munster, Connacht, and Ulster, an area that includes Northern Ireland. Which brings us to the story of Ireland's Call and the problem of an anthem. Initially, to mute any political tensions, no national anthem was played at Irish internationals until 1930, at which point a compromise was made, with the Republic of Ireland's anthem, Áran Naveen, played at their Dublin base of Lansdowne Road, where the national anthem of the United Kingdom, then God Save the King, was performed when they played at their Belfast home of Ravenhill. Crucially, no anthem was played at away games. However, this compromise proved an issue for some players who were unhappy with the playing of God Save the King. So the IRFU decided to hold all their home internationals in Dublin. For a large portion of the next 50 years, the issue of what anthem to play was somewhat stifled, albeit with the ruling Unionist government in Northern Ireland against the use of Áran Naveen. Unionist opposition was strengthened on the 25th of April 1987, when an IRA roadside bomb mistakenly damaged a car carrying 3 Northern Irish players on their way to training in Dublin. 2 of the players recovered, but Nigel Carr's rugby career was ended that day. A month later, at the inaugural World Cup, Irish captain Donal Lenihan was disheartened that Ireland were the only team with no anthem. So the IRFU decided to use the Rose of Tralee as an anthem for the Irish team, a decision that was met with much derision given the use of a poor recording. According to Lenihan, it was a silly compromise and a complete and utter disaster. Another legend of Irish rugby, Brian O'Driscoll, notes, it is thanks to the 1987 Rose of Tralee fiasco that we now have Ireland's Call, a rugby anthem that represents the whole of Ireland and offends no one. For the 1995 World Cup in South Africa, the IRFU commissioned a song from Phil Coulter to serve as an anthem. This song is Ireland's Call. Coulter is an icon of Irish music. His songwriting career has spanned over 50 years and has seen him amass 23 platinum discs and numerous awards. A brief textual analysis of Ireland's Call reveals that Coulter's use of specific landscapes from 4 provinces of Ireland, with the glens of Antrim representing Ulster, the rugged hills of Galway showcasing Connacht's beauty, the walls of Limerick signaling Munster, and Dublin Bay, Leinster. The success of the song is, however, found in the rousing chorus that emphasises the unity of standing shoulder to shoulder with all inhabitants from the island of Ireland. As an anthem, Ireland's Call has been subject to criticism, with even O'Driscoll noting that when he initially captained Ireland, he felt it wasn't his anthem, whereas Johnny Waterson is scathing in his assessment of the song, noting that it is nothing more than a symptom of gesture politics and is just plain wrong. In responding to criticism, Coulter acknowledges that the song is a compromise. The rugby fraternity did not fall in love with the song, he argues. It was a long process with a serious amount of begrudgery. It was a slow burn. A key moment in the song's vindication came in the monumental Ireland versus England Six Nations game at Croke Park in 2007, a game steeped in history, often regarded as a turning point in contemporary Irish culture, and represented in this talk by this famous photo by Cyril Byrne. Coulter notes that Ireland's Call earned its place in Irish lore that day, as it was sung with gusto by players and fans alike. Rory Carroll correctly writes that today the tide has turned, with athletes and sports fans showing increasing affection for the song, whereas Dr. Siobhan Doyle, in light of Brexit and the distant possibility of united Ireland, has recently postulated on replacing our Ron Levine with Ireland's Call, a possible, albeit unlikely, new national anthem. It would seem then that there is more to come in the story of Ireland's Call, a song that acts as a marker of unity on the island of Ireland. For further information on Ireland's Call and Irish rugby, I would recommend this excellent documentary, Shoulder to Shoulder with Brian O'Driscoll. While for information on Ireland versus England in the historic 2007 clash, watch No Words Needed, Croke Park 2007. Or perhaps if you're flying into Ireland via Shannon Airport, you can visit the sculpture commemorating the day entitled The Day That Changed Ireland. For further reading on Irish rugby, see Patrick McKeery's The New Breed, or these various other articles. I hope you've enjoyed this brief talk, Ireland's Call, a story in rugby and unity. And should you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Or Mila Margaret.